Okay. Right. Let's get this started this evening. Just gonna turn on the volume. Right. So yeah, it's we're gonna continue from where we left off yesterday. I think we were looking at um yep, we're looking at the chapter uh just after testing, which is um I think we're building a terminal, yeah, command line program. Yeah. So let's continue with it. Yeah, I turned on the volume. I think it's probably okay. Let's see. Yep. So this is the Rust book we're using. We're just following it. Um, yeah, we were looking at how to read properties from the environment. I mean, like the passed in as environment variables from the std environment module and then the args function. Yeah, we're collecting that into a vector of strings here. So the example from yesterday. So we continue. Yep. And now I should stop the audio completely. Yep. All right. So where were we? Yeah. So they were talking about saving the argument values into a variable. So yeah, we collect them, and then yeah, they're saving them into variables. So you have like a query one and a file path. Yeah, so you access the um yeah, so this is accessing the values of a vector of strings here. But wait, let's see. Yeah, but a vector, how do you access the in indices again? I think I can go to vector here. Yeah, you can access yep, I think, yeah, so I'm correct because like I'm thinking that you need to access the zeroth element, of course. So why were we doing one and two? I think that's because zero is the, yep, is here. It's the program itself, yeah. So the path to the program. So that's why that will be the zeroth element, and that's why we're accessing one and two here. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about here. When we printed the vector, the program's name takes up the first value in the vector as argument 0. So we're starting arguments at index 1. Okay. Right, what's next? Anyway, let's hold on 1 second. I think I need to bring this here. Right, it's okay now. There we go. All right, so let's just again okay. By the way, I don't know if I told. Okay, I did that yesterday. Yeah, so I have like a new keyboard. It's um it's a wired keyboard, but also a custom keyboard. I just started using it when yesterday actually. So yeah, there might be some quirks here and there, but yeah, this is what it looks like. One of it and the other one. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully it's easy to type. I changed a few things on the configuration and the rest. But yeah, um, hopefully I get a setup that works properly with Vim for me. So we're gonna store the value. So um, we need to collect the so for the program mini grep we call it, right? So file name and the string to search for. So um, I don't know, like string um, val. Yeah, it's not a vector, but it would be us accessing args. Actually, we can do first, which be an option, or we can do. Can we do second on that? No, we can do end. Yeah, uh, iterate that end. So we can do that. Yeah. So wait. So it does return the nth element of the iterator. Yeah, I know that all present elements as well as the return element will be consumed from the iterator, meaning that the present elements will be discarded and return none. Yeah, that's okay. Yep, okay. So it's an option. So I can. Why does this not? Yep. So I can say n and this is 1. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Um, yeah, because it's an iterator. And then we can get the second one as well. Yeah. So path, I can say what were the two things we wanted to get from this one by the way again? Let's see. It was file path, I guess, yeah. It will also be same thing, args.iter. But why do we have to two? Wait, sorry, it's an option. Yeah, not a result. Wait, yeah, because that's because main Main returns. But anyway, it's a command line program. Normally, we want to panic. The problem we're having here is that this is an option, and main doesn't return that. The easier way is to access it by index, which could panic very much, and that's pretty much what we want. Anyway, so I don't want to. I mean, we can change main to return unit type or result. 1 second. Yeah, we can change main to return a result of unit type or um or result. Yeah, and then we will change this to be an option. We'll convert from option to result, but that's much longer. So we want to focus on what we're trying to do here. So instead, we should simply. I was just exploring the other ways of doing this. Yeah. So let's do the index 1. Get a string at once. Actually, no. Yep. And as well with this, we should also do 2 here. Yep. And that's it. So we have file path and that. Yeah. Is correct. Yep. I don't think I like the wait, file path. I mean, it doesn't show me this. Args cannot move args because it's borrowed. Yeah. So we can do this. Yeah. Yeah, string value do. Okay. Yep. Let's continue now. Reading the file. So once that functionality to read a file specified in the file path, we need a sample file to test with. So we're going to put some text into the file with multiple lines with some repeated words. So the file name will be poem.txt. It's be at the root level of the project. Yeah. So, okay. And what does this look like? So with the text in place, we should edit and add the code. So yeah, we print the file path and then try to read the contents from file system, read file to string, and we give it the file path. We get the contents and we print it. Okay. as poem.text. I think it said it should be in the root. Level of the project. So okay, so we have the poem. Yeah, and then now we need to, yeah, so we need to print, we need to read it from the file system. File system, and we say file system read to string. So it's going to read the entire content of the file into string. Yep. Why is that hard to? Okay, so it's going to read this is a string, and then the path should be the file path. What does it take? It takes a path. Okay. Wait, it's a string or error, yeah? So, well, it wouldn't know how to convert this, to be honest, like, because this is, yeah, we can do it like so, because main returns doesn't return a result. So anyway, we can take care of that. So again, I think it's like yep, so this returns a result of string on error. Yeah, we can do this in two ways, right? So one of the things we can do is to say, wait, we can say it's a result. We can call dot okay, or I mean, okay is going to, what does okay even give us again? It's gonna convert this to an option. We can do or else. No, I need the value of this. Still gonna be that. What I want to do is to actually say what the oh wait, maybe can I can do this now, right? Yep. Yeah, I can run unwrap on this. Yeah, it's a command line program. We don't care if it fails. It should break immediately. Can't we call panic on it? We cannot, right? Let's run unwrap. Instead prefer. Okay, well. I think. Okay, well, I think that would give it to us. What else is there? Yeah, so we just print the content here. And increase the new line is okay. Yep, but no, the file name is not correct. So we need two things. The first thing we should pass to this would be the string we want to search for. Second thing is going to be the file path. So for the string, we can use some, wait, yeah, I mean, we can just put anything, right? It doesn't matter. So I can say like a frog, maybe. Maybe I just say frog. And the file path is just poem.txt, whatever, that's it. Yeah, so it was able to get the content. So it's like the string frog, the file path, and then the content is this. But why do we... Oh wait, is this is this am I supposed to do that, or is it like... I think it's like the backslash, right? Let's try this again. Yeah, it is. New line character. Actually, I think the theme is not it doesn't help here, because normally this would show me that it's going to be evaluated, but it doesn't. The theme, I mean, I think is, can I do, wait, color scheme. I don't even know what these schemes are, but I think well, whatever. I change that after, right now. So let's go on. So we're able to do that. Next, yeah, but what they did is, oh, they did an expect. So I was trying to do, well, it's unwrap expect, but it provided the error. Yeah, because unwrap would not tell you. I mean, you can't say, you can't put in the error that you want, but we could have done expect. That's fine. Okay. So they say here that it has a few flaws. Main function has multiple responsibilities. Yes. We want to split it into multiple functions. I believe so. Yeah. We're not handling errors as well. Yeah. So let's go on. So now I want to refactor the code to improve modularity and error handling. So we don't want main function to handle everything. So one separate functionality. So the query and file path. Well, I like the fact that it's called query, not string, whatever here. Yeah, okay. So query, and then file path are configuration variables to our program. But the issue also ties to the second problem. Although query and file path are configuration variables to our program, variables like content are used to perform the program's logic. The longer main program becomes, the more variables we need to bring into scope. Okay. So there's a third problem. We're using expect to print error message when it fails, but the error message just prints should have been able to read the file. Reading the file can fail in a number of ways. For example, so there are multiple errors, like the file could be missing, you may not have permission, so multiple things. So we have to create like an error enum and then handle multiple errors maybe. Fourth, we use expect to handle an error. If the user runs our program without specifying enough arguments, they get index out of bounds exception. Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's address the 4 problems. Want to separate consents in a binary. So we want to many Rust programmers find it useful to split up the separate consents of the binary. So I want to split the program into main RS and a lib RS. Okay. But in any case, we started as with a binary crate, which it would have which main entry point is the main RS, and now we're going to introduce a lib RS. We're going to introduce a lib RS. And then we should move our program's logic to lib RS. As long as our command line parsing logic is small, it can remain in the main function. Yeah, and then to call what is exposed from the lib RS. Okay. So the main responsibilities that remain in the main function after this process should be limited to the following: calling the command line, passing logic with argument values, setting up any other configuration, calling a run function in librs, handling the error if a run returns an error. Okay. So, well, how would I do that before we even see what they did? We basically need to add a lib.rs file here. And then we would create a module. Yeah. We can actually have the module right here, or we can put it like in a separate one. Probably we should probably makes sense for us to even have a, I mean, I also don't want to complicate it. Maybe let's just what do we want to do actually? Want to, it's just reading the file, right? Yeah, maybe like search, I don't know, query, or is it, I just call it grep as the module. Wait, this keyboard, man. Okay. Yeah, and we can then expose the functions to, we need a function that would read. So we have the query and the file path, and we need to pass them to the function inside the module. Yeah. So read or is it? Yeah, right now I can say read content, and then it will take um the query, which is a string, and let's take the file path. It can be a string actually. Yeah, and this would give you back a string, which is the content, yeah. And here, so yeah, we do file system. Oh wait, why? Come on. Yeah, okay. What's wrong? std file system. I already have that in scope. Oh wait. Wait. Let's see. What's wrong here? Is it cause it's not? Wait, let's see. Yeah. So because it's inside of the module, when it was outside, we couldn't access it. Okay, that makes sense actually. Scoped. So file system dot read to string is what we want. And yeah. What's wrong with this? Okay. I think this keyboard is sometimes acting up, especially this. Like I said, it's a new keyboard. Just trying it out and seeing how it's working. Yeah, so, and then we can do dot expect here. So this would be the first problem, or it's just like moving things around or making them modular. Yeah, could not read file. Yeah, it's enough to do this right now. And yeah, if we're not able, and then we just return. Oh, actually, I just need to do this. What do you expect? Expected value, attribute pattern. Oh yeah, this should be file path. Yeah. And I think this should be public, right? I mean, like, I need to be able to use it. So grep. Let's see what we. So here we need to say mode. We need grep. Wait. No, wait. So we want to use grep. How do we bring that? It's not available. I don't think this is I think we need to have it like so. Wait, why can't I access? Oh, wait, do I need a modifier, an access modifier on the module definition? Shouldn't be, yeah. Shouldn't be. Nope. I mean, I think we can wait. Let's see. Where's the no, not this. Yeah, we can do this one. Where's the chapter again on? Yeah, I think this is the one. So inside of librs, yeah, here we were declaring the module. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think this is what needs to happen. And wait, I need to see the. This is the end of it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so we can actually have the module like so. Okay. And then I think we can do a pub use like so to re-export it if we want inside librs. So I want to try it both ways. So this doesn't, yeah, so we have this here. Yep, and then we have a public function. What was it called again? I think it said it needs to be a run. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah, so like you need to expose something, right, from your library, a public function from your internal library, and run would take the query and the file path. I'm just trying to do this before we check what they had implemented, right? So and then we see what we're able to do. Can I go? Yeah, I can. No, wait. Not from FS, right? So it's like create. Yeah, grep. Why can't I access? Why can't I? Wait. Create. Grep. Does this need to be public for it to be? Wait. Oh yeah. So it needs to be public, even when you're using it inside of the library like this. Okay. So read content. And this would be the query. And the file path. I think that's it, right? Nothing more. Expected value found. Expected the value. I think there is something we can do, right? So let's see, can I do so let's say I do this. Is defined multiple times. Okay. Okay. So I can do this. Yeah. Then if I come to my main RS now, I can call run. Let's see, how do we access? Yeah, so we have to do a use mini grep, which makes sense. So yep. So now it's, why was it not available before? Oh, it was actually. Right. So, but wait, this is interesting. So yeah, it's because this is it's not a separate module, but we can anyway create a nested module, which we should. Okay, so well, why do we have to? Okay, because we're using we're doing this right now in the binary crate, so that's main RS. So use mini grep, yeah, and then so we can do mini grep run, and we say the string val, or query, I'll call it, and this is file path. So actually query come on, yeah, and this is okay. This is no longer needed. Oh wait, or actually I can get rid of this. So main should now collect the arguments like so, and then cannot find string val. Do we have string val here? We don't, right? We already renamed it. Yeah, okay. Arguments this function are incorrect. Interesting. It just tells you it's incorrect. It doesn't. But anyway, we know that that's because this is mismatched types, expected. Oh yeah. Default return doesn't. Oh yeah, okay. I think I see. I was moving, but we're not using it anymore. We don't use values. Cannot move out of index. Ah yeah, because we're dealing with this here. Yeah, that's fine. So this we can we make this instead a can we do this instead? What would be the problem? Actually, same thing here. Let's get a reference. Oh. I think I told you my keyboard I had probably going to. Where's this, by the way? Okay, I'm just gonna do this again. Yeah. Okay. Where's that project? Mini Grep, yeah. There we go. Right. Swap file. Don't want that. Okay. So what is it? I wanted to do this here. Oh yeah, okay. And I also wanted to do that on this. Okay. This is not being used. Why? Yeah, okay, so we're just reading the file. We just read content actually. Okay, so this wasn't actually needed, but it's okay. And for this, we say reference. Yeah. And so it says this is redundant. We don't need mini grep. If I don't do this, then what? Let's see. Okay. I don't need that. So I can just use it like directly like that, like straight away. That's fine. And so when I get the content now, let's print the content. I think it's \n, and we need this. Okay, my program still works. Still runs fine. So we've been able to split things up a bit. Our main function is only collecting the arguments and parsing them and passing them to our libraries only publicly exposed function, which is the run function, and which uses the library's internals to do it, right? So that's like here. Yeah. So I was saying this is one way where we have the module. We have the grep module is directly inside of the librs, and like the query is not even needed here actually. I mean, this is just for reading the content, so this is not needed. We can get rid of it from here. Yeah, we don't need the query to read the content. Yeah, but for run, we need it. But right now, I'm going to like say that this is not needed. Like it can be ignored, so it's quiet. I mean, the compiler doesn't complain about it. So I was saying this is one way. By the way, I think we can also. How do you? I think. Yeah, with Rust you can the comments with docs. I wanted to be able to add. I mean, we get there, but let's see. Rust comments, documentation. Doc comments. Well, yeah. So I need doc comments. Okay, this is for code, but like three would be for docs. So we can do this. And say like entry point to library code. That's library. I just do this right now. Here also, wait. Reads content of a file system. Returns the value, the content as string, returns content as string. I just want to see what this would look like when we use it. I think it's like okay. Yep. So it works. So we can actually see the comment that description or definition of our function here. So it's like and for this same thing. Yep, it's also there. Okay, that's cool. So I was saying this is one way. There's a second way. I mean, like right now we have the module directly inside the library, but we can also extract this and create a, I want to call it a different name so that what do I call it now? So we have grep. So mini grep dot I don't know, like I'll just say file system maybe. I don't know, like I'll just say I'll call it file system. Should I say FS? I'll just say FS, yeah. But if we say FS, it means that inside FS we have wait, hold on. No, I think that's not correct. We don't have it's not nested on multiple levels. No. I think what we should have here should be a grep.rs. Yes. And inside a grep.rs we would I mean, this doesn't have to live here anymore. We would take the code we have like so, yeah, and go to grep and paste our code there. However, this code is not Rust knows that the Rust compiler cannot even see it, right? It's not included. That's why it's complaining right now. So in our leave.rs, which is the entry point, we have to specify that, hey, look for this, right? So we do a mod grep and I want to, it's not how I'm gonna do it. I believe so. Okay, so why does it not see it even now? Wait, let's go again. Let's focus again. So we say mod grep. Oh, it's supposed to see this because it also, I can navigate here already. So what's wrong? This file is not included where in the module tree. What do you mean? It's literally here. Mod grep. It's right here. Look, I can read it. Grep read content. So I don't even need to do create anymore, because I can do a go to definition and I'm literally here. Well, why is this still? I guess it's a sync problem, because I maybe moved files around. Oh yeah, now it sees it. Yeah, I guess it needed to index something or whatever. So yep, I think this exercise was also good for understanding the structure of I mean the organizational structure, how like the Rust compiler sees files or sees the code, right? So libraries and all the rest. So anyway, yeah, that's cool. We could put it right in the library itself, and here we can list all our modules, right? So list your modules, right? Yeah, and here you have your entry point. Yeah, that's it. This is the typical library, nothing more than this. In fact, we if grep was to be like a module that would have multiple nested modules, we just create a folder there and have the modules inside, and inside grep rs we list the others. It's just like that. Okay, I think that's okay. Let's move to the next thing. Yeah, so let's now see what they did because we're doing that by ourselves. So they have the extraction and argument parsing inside. Exactly. I was thinking to make this a tuple, and they did that because it didn't look neat to me. I like that. So let's do that first of all. And what did they do? Okay. Um, so yeah, this here can be extracted. So like it's making things simpler. So I think they said it's like a function pass config, call it like so, and it should take args, which is a vector of strings. Yeah, it can take it. So, and it's going to return for me, give me back a tuple. Why not? Mm-hmm. I mean, it can be a tuple right now, but as it grows, it should be a struct ideally, because like we need to know what each thing represents, not just like by indexes. Yeah. So right now it's fine for us to say, give me like so, and here, yeah, and here we move this away. Yeah. Um, Missing lifetime. Specifier. Okay. I mean, this. I don't think I want to bother with lifetime specifiers right now. Actually, for this function, it's return type. But wait, like because it depends on. So is returning something that has a reference, or like, yeah, a tuple that has reference. But by the way, why do I need this anymore? If why can't it own that? If I'm getting, yeah, I don't need this anymore, right? Why doesn't this work? Why can't I simply return a tuple of strings? Yeah, why not? Um, okay, the problem of moving out of index. Let's see what they did actually. So you're taking reference to this. and you do the same. Is it just because it's a reference and that takes care of it? Interesting. All right. No wait, because it's a reference. Doesn't make much sense, to be honest. But they also were using I mean this didn't have to be a vector. It can be you can you can say this is an array. I think that's what they did. Oh come on. This thing has happened again. That's me typing the wrong thing actually with this new keyboard. One more time for this. Okay. Um, okay. I think I was pretty too fast then. Yeah. Where did this go? Tell me I corrupted something. I think. Okay. Right. Let's see. Cannot find value. What can you not find? Cannot find value in the scope. I think I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I was trying to do this. Read only. I think that's because of the. That's because I think it's a swap file somewhere. I only have one open. Cannot find value file path in the scope. Okay, yeah. So we get back the. Oh yeah. So arguments, and we should we want to do the parse config, right? So yeah, parse configs arguments, and that will give us query and string, right? So we have let query file path be that and then we do this. Okay, so what's the issue now? Mismatch types, expected reference of this. A vector of strings. Yeah, I wanted to see that. So what did why did they do this? They collect this to a vector of strings, and they're expecting here to be a collection. It refers to collection of strings. That's it. So this should work ideally, but let's see. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this is a string slice. Mismatch types, external reference. This is interesting. But if I change this to wait. Oh yeah. But if I change this one back to a vector, yeah, what's wrong with this key? But anyway, that still doesn't fix it. So it's not okay. Sometimes spell reference vector of anything. And what did you find? Okay. This is a vector of string type, and this is reference. That's your issue. Yeah. So this one should work now. I mean, I think that was it before. Yep. And arguments to this function are incorrect. That's also here. Expected reference to string found string slice. That's for okay. So that's for run. Why can't we do I think we would be able to. Yeah, so now we go to here. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm not sure. Okay. So, yep. So our program still runs fine. Okay. So yeah, so the main function just does the job of orchestration. It reads the arguments from the command line. It also takes care of parsing and extracting them accordingly, and delegates to the library code, which is the mini grep run, and prints. what's missing now is error handling, because for example, it is possible that our configurations are missing. Like, so the first might be empty, or like we might not have any arguments or whatever, but we need to take care of it. So I think that's what they'll do next. Let's see. So still collecting the command line arguments into a vector, but instead of assigning the argument value at index 1 to variable query, we pass the whole vector to parse config. The parse config function holds logic that determines which argument goes into which variable. We still create the query and file path variables in main, but main no longer has the responsibility of determining how the command line arguments and variables correspond. Yeah, it's now in parse config. The rework might seem overkill for a small program, but we're refactoring small incremental steps. Okay. So now grouping configuration values. Another small step to improve the parse config function at the moment, we're returning a tuple. I was saying that previously we should probably return a struct, but let's see what they want to say about it. But then we immediately break that tuple into individual parts again. Yeah, this is a sign that perhaps we don't have the right abstraction yet. Another indicator that shows there's room for improvement is the config part of parse config, which implies that the two values were returned and related and are both part of one configuration value. We're not currently configuring this message in the structure of data other than by grouping. That is intuitable. We'll instead put the two values into one struct. I was just talking about that. Yeah, because it makes sense to be a struct. This is a single configuration. And giving each of the struct meaningful names, this will make it easier for future maintenance of the code. Okay. So at least we know what they want to do here. So let's do it ourselves and then figure it out after. It's a library. It's mini grep. I don't know. Can we wait? Why don't we I'm wondering whether, so ideally where would the struct live? It's going to be used eventually here in main. So let's start by putting the struct here. We can figure that after. So we have a struct called config. Yeah, and it has a query, which is a string, and it has a file path, which is also a string. Yeah, and if we use lifetime, I mean if query and file path have to be reference types, then we need to specify lifetimes. But let's see. Let's go on with this right now. And we can have an implementation for config, which we can have an associated function, it's called, to create a new configuration. Yeah. And yeah, you're basically going to pass um mm, I mean, the new function will specify how to create the configuration. We can basically give it the tuple, actually. Why not? Um, we can call it like environment config. It's going to be should be self. And self is config here. So should be query. I mean, that doesn't have to be a. Interestingly, I wonder whether this should know about. It doesn't have to know about the internal details. You just need to give it a tuple. I mean, like, what are you really doing with if you already have a tuple? If you already processed this into a tuple, you might as well just do it here. So why do you need to? Well, the order would matter. So let's say, okay, so environment config dot 0 and file path would be environment config 1. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, and like the enter key on this new keyboard is not functioning properly. Whatever, take care of it later. Mismatch types. Expected string found. Oh yeah, this is meant to be. Yeah, why can't we have a reference here? I was saying that before that it would then require lifetime. Oh, which is not bad, to be honest. But I think I want to see if we can avoid that right now. The config here. Yeah, we. If we wanted to, I think we would do. I think. Wait, how do you do this again here? Yeah, I think so. early implicit early dead lifetime and not be allowed here. How do you mean? You want me to? Yeah, I think I probably have to specify it. Undeclared. Uh, so actually, now that I'm here, I should already just try to do this. Give me a string slice. Okay. And then here, the config is a tuple of reference to string type. And it's telling me that I need an explicit lifetime in the environment configured. Wait, hold on. Explicit lifetime required in the type of environment config. Um, Lifetime A required. Let's see. It says I should add an explicit lifetime A to the type of the environment config. This is on the tuple itself. How do you add this to the tuple actually? Found lifetime. What is the syntax error there? Expected type found lifetime. I'm not sure. Wait, I'm not sure how you specify regard for the type of how do you specify lifetime for a tuple? You cannot name or apply lifetime directly to itself. Instead on individual. Exactly what I thought actually, which makes sense. So they have to have the same lifetime. Yeah. Okay. And then okay, so I have an associated function now. And so this guy knows how to create a new configuration based on input in a tuple. Yeah. And what's next? So we yeah. So parse config. by the way, this whole code should move from here, but I just set QA for now. Parse config is used where? Here, yeah. So this should return a, yeah, should return a config, yeah. So yeah, this should return config from here. Yeah, should return config, and no. Okay, anyway, now we will do what's it called again? It's called config, right? Config. Wait, is it? We have a new year on it, yeah. Or why do we not? Why we're not able to access it? Is it because it needs to be public? Oh yeah. Not dot, but so config new, and we will give it query and file path. Yeah. Come on, what is it? Expected one argument found two, but what do you mean? Oh yeah, that is actually a tuple. It is not two arguments, it's one. My bad. So I'm gonna give it query and file path. Yep. So that is the config. And this means that, I mean, so the lifetime specifiers that we have for the config means that the none of query and path inside config will be out of scope. I mean, like, no. What it means is that query here and path here, or in fact, even the source, which is the argument itself, will not be out of scope before the config. Yeah, so it's just specifying the lifetime there. Yeah, it just guarantees that to the compiler. So parse config, excuse me, so this will return a config here, no longer a tuple. Okay, config, and this would be config dot query config dot, oh no, wait, dot file path. Yeah. Okay, now it's complaining about something, hiding a lifetime that's elided elsewhere. It's confusing. The same lifetime. Wait. It's a warning anyway. So let's see what it's saying. It says that we're hiding a lifetime. That's here. That's here. Okay, here. It says hiding a lifetime that's elided elsewhere. It's confusing. The same lifetime is referred to in inconsistent ways, making a signature confusing. We have the same. All right. Wait, hold on. Consistently use this or use. Right. I think what it's telling us is that this is basically ignored. So the lifetime of this here, we don't care. So are you're saying if it's going to be ignored, we might as well use that. Is that your point? Anyway, I don't want to I don't know if I want to have to deal with that right now. But first, our code still runs fine. Does it? Yeah. Still compiles, and yeah, so this is where it's talking about the lifetime elision. This is in parse configs. It says the lifetime is elided here. The same lifetime is hidden here. Okay. Help. You should use this for type paths. So what you want us to do is to actually say that the lifetime is elided here. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. It's not there. Okay. But anyway, our code works fine right now. That said, this is a bit dirty for our main function, file. We need to get it out of here. Where should the config live? Yeah. I have a feeling it should be inside of the grep. Yeah. Why not? It should be here, I believe. Okay. Okay, so I have the struct here and the implementation here. Okay. Then right. So here wait, hold on. That is in grep. I believe this is just the public one. Inside of grep, we need our struct to be public before we can use it. Yeah. No. Yep. And same thing with the new method or function, associated function. It's not a method. And now it's accessible. So yeah. Now let's try to use I cannot find type config. So we need to use mini grep. Wait, hold on. We don't have access to it. Interesting. Wait. We have a module grep. Why can't we? Why? What am I missing here? It's redundancy mini grep. Yeah. Failed to resolve. Use the undeclared config. Well, I know, but how do I grep mini grep? Wait, hold on. Run is the only thing accessible as the function. In mini grep public function. Why is my struct not available? Doesn't make sense that I cannot use the struct. I also cannot see them. No, no. Uh, hmm. So when you have a struct in your module in the library, you only need to declare the module. Wait, let's see. Can we access this here? Grep. That is interesting. But you know what's also interesting is wait. Let's just say it's here. Config is here. So we can access config from here. We can access config from here, but not from config new. We can do that, so we have access to it. But why? I should be able to access my struct. I also cannot even access the grep. Wait, let's see. Rust. How do we expose a struct? Our struct is already public. Yep. Oh, is it about the fields? I need individual fields. But let's see. Yeah, because like even by constructor or as shaded function is public. So I don't get it. If your library has some modules, marking something pub only makes it visible to the parent module, which we have right now to expose outside of what you need to either declare the module as pub. You declare the module as pub. All right. I think that's what we're missing. I think we're missing to declare the module as public. Are you done now? Yep. Okay. I think I want it like this so that I can do no, wait, that's not what I don't want to. I don't think I want to go from mini grep. I think I want to do grep, and then I want to say grep config. Yep. Same here. And what else? Configure query, config dot. Oh yeah, it's saying these are private. Yeah. Nice. What is it? It's no longer private. Come on. The file path is private, but it's no longer private. Are you taking so long? I think now you're just being slow. Look, I mean, I need to figure out how you refresh this thing, because look, it compiles fine, but it's still complaining, you know? Let me see if now it's okay. It is now. Anyway, yeah, I think this was an interesting exercise to use the whole modal structure. Yeah, it's okay. It's an interesting one. What else is there? What did they do actually? Let's see. So look, they put. I think they're gonna get there, but they're going stepwise. So, which is actually what we did. We put the struct right there. Look, they use clone, but we didn't want to use clone, and we went for the harder thing, which is to use lifetimes. Okay, I think I'm pretty. I think I like the fact that we used lifetimes. So, yeah, oh, pretty neat. Okay, they did clone because I think they didn't want to introduce lifetime and scare Viridius off. And then they created it like this right here, but we then went ahead to create an associated function, or a constructor as you call it, which is actually an overkill because that's not necessary, because all we're doing is just yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think I'm wrapping up now anyway. We'll continue tomorrow. But anyway, I want to just see where they got to. Well, yeah, I wanted to see this really part. So the signature of the pass config now indicates that it returns a config value. Um, we now define config to contain own strings. Yeah. So for there, as it contained own strings, they cloned it, which, um, well, anyway, which means we would violate Rust borrowing rules if config tries to take ownership of the values in arg. No, wait, hold on. The args variable in main is the owner of the argument values and is only letting pass config function borrow them, which means would violate Rust. Okay. Number of ways we could manage a string data. The easiest and somewhat inefficient route is clone, which we avoided, which I'm proud of. Is to make a full copy of the data for the config instance to own, which takes more time and memory than storing a reference to data. However, the cloning data also makes our code very straightforward because we don't have to manage lifetimes. Oh, come on, I feel so cool right now. In this circumstance, giving up the performance, simplicity gain is what the trade-off. Yeah, whatever. So the trade-off using clone. The tendency among those chance to avoid using clone to fix. Are you talking to me? Come on. To fix ownership problems because of Rust runtime cost. In the next chapter, you learn how to use more efficient methods in type of situations. But for now, it's okay to copy a few strings. Nope, it's not okay. I don't agree. To continue to make progress because you make these copies only once and your file path and query string are very small. And that's okay. It's better to have a working program that's a bit inefficient that tries to have optimized code for the best path. Okay. And become more experienced with Rust, it will become easier to start with more efficient solution. Yeah, so I guess we are now experienced. We should get that badge. It's perfectly acceptable to call clone. Okay, we've updated the main. Like I said, now places the instance of config returned by parse config into the variable name config. All right, I think we did that right. The best way. Creating a constructor for config. Oh yeah, they went ahead and created a constructor, or as you call it, the proper terminology is the associated function, which we already did. Yep. Okay. Next. So we compile our code, it works. Next, it's error handling. So attempting to access the values 1 and 2 will cause program to panic if we don't have them. Yeah, index out of bounds. So I think let's see if we can also try to solve that problem without seeing what they did, like doing our own way. Let's see if we run this, sorry, and we do not pass the arguments, our program crashes. Yeah, so let's improve the error, or let's handle this. At least we know what's missing or what should be provided. Okay. So that's because we're accessing the indices here. Yeah. So the arguments, we have the vector. We know that the first item should be, we know that the first item should be a okay, wait, let's think about it. We need to have an error, but hold on. This is simply a command line program. We want to panic, but maybe with errors that make sense, right? So we're going to start with that assumption, and if we need to like do proper error handling, then we can afterwards, right? So let's just start with that assumption. Yeah. So I'm going to do args.iter.end one. Try to access the first element. Dot x. Can we? And that's an option, right? It is an option. Am I correct? Wait. I thought this was an option. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's an option. What do you have an option? You can you unwrap? You can unwrap. You can say I mean, we might be overcomplicating it, and these guys are just going to give a very simple solution. I'm tempted to not want to go a complicated route. I just want that if the if you don't provide the first item, then I'm going to give you a very an error, that message that is clear, about that one. Yeah. So yeah, this is an option. What if we turn the option? I mean, we can turn the option an option to a result, right? I think it's called, is it transpose? This is an option. Oh, yeah. How to turn an option to a result? It's okay, or yep. But we have to provide the error here. And why can't I simply say yeah, exactly. Please provide, error can be a string, I believe. Please provide what is this one, by the way? It's a query, right? Yeah. Please provide query to be searched or to be looked up. What do you mean? So, oh yeah, so it's okay or result, then So that's a result string or string, which is the error. Wait, yeah, problem we're gonna have here is that this doesn't return, the parse config doesn't return an error. I mean, we can actually, well, we are handling the error. Why can't I simply say it's a result? It's just going to be too much to process, you know. But anyway, I can say I'm gonna match on the query, which is a result of whatever, yeah, where it is okay of value, then I need the value, yeah. Otherwise, if it's an error, if it's an error, yep. I want to panic and, well, actually, I want to panic on the error, and I want query to be that again. Because it's a statement. Yep. What was the problem here? Format arguments, it must be, oh, to panic you mean, must be a string literal for this. Nope. Wait, what do you mean by this? Wait. Panic. Yeah, why not? What's the problem with it? Format argument was a string literal. Oh wait, why can't I? I can't even access that. Let's see what panic looks like. I'm not sure what this thing is talking about here. Panic macro. Has to be, it's what you mean by string literal? Where is it? With a single argument directly used below. or no query provided. Are you still gonna have the problem? Nope, it's gone. So call the iter.end on a slice. You're telling me it's a better way to do that. Yep, that's what you're saying. But we'll take care of that later. Yeah. Right now, I need to do the same thing for file path. But when you say, wait, get is equivalent but more concise. Really? Okay, let's do that. You mean I can do what? Iterator.get, you mean it's an iterator dot get? Is it what you mean? There's no get on it. What are you talking about, get? So iter ends on a slice. Right, I'm trying to go to this link. I'm just gonna copy it. I said I was gonna get ready. Okay. So what it does, checks for usage of iter.end. Why it's bad. .get and .get both are equivalent but more concise. Okay, so if I were doing end third item here, or this, correct would be on the vector get. But what does get on a vector give me actually? Wait. Oh wait. This is how you do it actually. It's like the entire length of the vector dot get. So interesting. Oh, is that not what we just saw? Come on. Oh yeah. This is, maybe this needs to be a vector for it to work. Yeah, because that is actually not a vector. Right. No, it doesn't. What do you mean? Nope, I don't have it. You have a vector, you can call dot get on it. You can call reference. Like this is strange, right? Because I don't see it. What's wrong actually? I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we have args.get. This was my thing. Like I was saying, get returns you an option. Oh yeah, because end also returns you an option, so that's fine. But what about doing? Oh, it's also there. I'm not sure what I was doing before. It also returns you an option, yeah. So, and this will be what, 2, right? So we said, okay, that's fine. Dot okay, or please provide a file path. This will give you a result, and we match on the result. Oh, wait, no. Let's just make it simple for ourselves, or so match on the file path. Yeah. So if it's an OK value, then we're gonna just give me the value. If it's an error and whatever the value is, I want to panic and say no file path provided. Error, sorry. Okay, and because it's a statement, then we do this, and we do shadow in here. We say let file path be that. Yep. Okay. So now we can also change this one and say it's no longer iter or that, but it should be dot get, right? So it should be one dot get. Let's see if this still. Wait. I want to see. Well, that's vector. I want to just check it out and see. It does work, actually. Cool. Okay. This is a bit. I don't like how this looks, but anyway, that's what it has to do. Query multiple times, file path, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so this is for error, right? So if I do a, oh wait, okay, and then we try to do the cargo run without them. I mean, we're gonna get the first error we encounter would be that no query provided. Please provide query to be looked up. We can actually specify that. Okay, do that with we can specify how it should be. Yeah, if we want, right? So if I say cargo run frog, then and then it tells me about the file path. So now it's provide a file path. Okay, and then now it runs fine. Okay, so our parse does what it needs to do correctly. Yeah. Okay. Is that it? So fixing error handling. Let's see what they did, and then we call it a night. So improving the error message. Okay, so they just, oh, this is what new. This is what it is for new function. Ooh, where is our function for creating? Okay, I'll config new. Um, hmm, I see. So they took everything to the new function. So they took it to the new, like basically, all of, I guess all of this went to new. Is that what they did? Yeah. Yes, that's what they did. So like handling the, like, so where do they have the, so they no longer have a parse configuration. So this is a new now. Yeah, which makes sense because, so for us, if we wanted to do that, I mean, instead of just calling one line here, so we would now call, we'll be calling config new from here and passing it the arguments, and all of these will go to that. So this is arguments now is it doesn't take the, doesn't take a tuple anymore. It's gonna take yeah, it's gonna take arguments, right? So sorry, which is a vector, which is a vector. Yeah, and so we take query, we get the first item, and then we process it. It's okay. Or we do that for file path. When we are done, we would have query and file path. Yeah. So we just, I mean, we can just say query. What is that? Sorry. Here. Query and file path. Explicit lifetime required in the type of args. Oh yeah. Need an explicit lifetime because of the reference. That's fine. We give it a lifetime. So I think this is much better. Like we move things correctly. So here now, we don't need to call this any longer. We can actually get rid of all of this. And here we can, here we can call grep config new and pass arguments to it, even though I think arguments should be like so, right? Yep, this is much better, much better. So we basically get the read the arguments from the environment, pass it to our module grep config new, yeah, and we get back configuration, which we ignore the lifetime for it, and then we call run. Why do we need to actually specify query and file path? Like, why don't we just give it the configuration? um, we can just give it the configuration. It knows everything in the configuration now. I think we did that because we started with a tuple before, but now it's a config is a struct, so it doesn't need to do that anymore. So read content can stay with file path, which is fine, but run should take a config. Should take a config. Nope, it's not what I want to do. Multiple times. What do I want to do? Well, gosh. Okay, so now this should be grep.config dot, wait, no, hold on, what is wrong? Config, yeah. Oh wait, sorry, I was looking, it should be config dot file path, yep. Okay. Yeah, and with this, yeah, so run now takes the config and not the individual things that was making it. Yeah, so now we just need to pass the config here. And we're good. And we can try to run this program again. And it still runs fine. That's good. Okay. So the error, they want to fix errors now. And all they did was to add a condition and then panic. It's not enough arguments. As if it's less than the 3. However, it doesn't tell us which of them is missing. So they did that, it was getting a lot of arguments. The output is better. We now have a reasonable error. We have extraneous information. Okay, however, we also have extraneous information. As we have all of this um, backtrace and whatever information that we don't want to give them. So there's another technique that we discussed. So perhaps the technique we discussed in line, this isn't the best one to use. A call to panic is more appropriate for a programming problem than a usage problem. Exactly, which is why we didn't go for using the results and trying to handle better. I think a panic is okay, which is what I did here, right? So we panicked as well. Why do we even have that? Yeah, I think it's, yeah, we're just panicking. That's what we're doing. Return your results instead of calling panic. But that's not what, whatever. We can instead return a result. Sorry, hold on. A call to panic is more appropriate for a problem than for a usage problem. So after saying that a call to panic is more appropriate, all right. So now you want to use the one for result. We can do that. So you can instead return a result value that will contain a config instance in the successful case. I will describe the problem in the error case. Okay, we can do that one. I don't know. It's a few minutes still, but let's see. Maybe we. For that, inside of the grep, I want to. Maybe I should. I want to add a folder called grep, and inside grep, wait. Inside grep, let's add errors.rust. So this is going to contain errors for mini grep for our program. And inside of grep errors, we are going to declare, we're going to point to that, right? So we're going to say mode errors. Yeah. And then here, we are first going to declare a type called mini grep error. It's a mini grep error, so it's going to be an overarching error type. It will be result of string oh wait, no, sorry. Sorry, this is going to be a mini grep result, not error. Is it? Yeah. And I want to create we'll create a num called mini grep error. Like that would be the first, and here it would be the type would be result of string or mini grep error. Yep. So what we'll do, and mini grep error, we're gonna have different types of errors. We're gonna have an error for the case where we're missing the query or the file path, right? So that's a general type of error, which is like insufficient arguments, right? So yeah, how does that work? It's like, is it insufficient argument to our program, right? Upper, okay, that's fine. I didn't usually remember this. Wait. Oh, sorry. I think it should be like this. Yeah, I believe this is how it is. Yeah. So having insufficient arguments. Then, what about when if we're not able to read the file? So we like file is not found, or we cannot read the file. That's a file problem, yeah. How do you call like an error generally? It's not found or found. It's a I'm just gonna say problem reading file. I'll say problem reading file, and then tell me. Just very simple. Tell me the type of problem. That's it. Yep, that's it. So now, this should be public because I need to use it. This should also be public, and I need to use it as well. So, having declared my errors, yeah. So I think the errors can come from here. It's the new, yeah. So here, wait. This can be wait, hold on. It should be mini grep. Come on. So you have, it should be mini grep dot grep dot errors mode. Oh yeah, should be public mode. I think should be public mode errors. Why not? Come on. So from the library, you have mode grep. In mode grep, you have errors here. Like I can read errors dot mini grep error. Exactly, I can read them from here. So it should work. Also like here, like sorry, like oh my god, what happened? I'm not sure what. Well, I mean, when we're done with this, I will figure that out. Okay, but this should work. Yeah, because why not use mini grep? Oh, wait. Yep, that's what should happen. You get the grep. Yep, and use mini grep. Yeah, that's all I need actually. I don't need the other one. So here it should be it should return grep errors. No, it should return mini grep result. That's what it should return. And sorry. And this should return us an OK. What is it? Oh, string actually. We said that should be a string, right? It should. No, give me like so. Yeah. Good. What's wrong here? Format mini grep error doesn't implement debug. Okay. I don't think mini grep result should be in errors. Yep. So it should be in grep. This is where it should be. And coming back here, this should be in. Yep, that's where it should be. What was your complaint again? Are we good? Okay. So now we can go to the new. I have to sleep actually. It says mini grep error cannot be found in the scope. Yeah, of course. Because it's coming from I think we've not included the crate here. Use, wait. Yeah, we're not include the grade here. We should say uh why are you I'm currently in the grep. Or why do you want to use create? Why can I say grep? Oh, okay. Okay, relative to here. Grep dot errors. Oh wait, hold on. I already have these errors here, so I can just say errors. When you get errors, that's fine. So if I go now to back to main, yeah, so now I get the problem that mini grep error doesn't implement FMT debug required to display stuff. So I need to implement FMT debug for this, for mini grep error. Yeah. Yeah. So we are implementing FMT. So basically we're specifying how that the error will be displayed to the user. I think it's, how's that even done? F dot write. I think it's FMT if I'm not wrong. That's the formatter now. Yeah. Dot write FMT, yeah. Is it? Yeah, it should be like so. But it's using a format args. Is it what I'm supposed to use? I'm not familiar with this one. I don't think it's what it should be. Hey, Uchukar, we already seen about derive macros. Yeah, yeah. I've seen about that. So you mean we can simply just are we able to automatically derive for, we can derive for enums, right? But for actually wait, it was debugged that it's mentioned, right? FMT debug. Actually, yeah. So wait. Yep. Derive debug. I think it will just print the conflicting. Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't have to do this. Yeah, I think it will just display it like that. I think I saw where we can check that actually. Debug. Where is that actually? It's in the Rust documentation. Yeah, I'm actually not looking for the macro, no. I'm looking for the trait, the bug gap. And normally it would be in something around derive. What was it? Derive macros. I think this is it. Yep. Okay, cool. Yep. So we didn't have to do that. Just too long. Yeah. And even like, did he specify how that? He didn't say how, but I think, yeah, for enums, right? Is this where? No, no. Anyway, that's it. I think I remember that to just print this. That's okay. We have it. So now I just removed. No, wait. I remove this. Not necessary. And where are we actually? Yeah. So we're here now. Yeah, I think that is it. What? Where? Yeah, I said it's returning mini-grep result, which is our own type that we created. And any issues so far? No. Okay. Yeah. Now we need to from here we're panicking here. The reason why we created the errors in the first place is we want to use them. So so new normally should give us I mean, the constructor normally would give us the the type itself. So in this case the config, but we'll have to change this because we're going to return a result. But I think we were actually returning a, yeah, we can do that. So we return a mini grep result, but that actually gives us a string, which I think we need to change that. Where is it? It's here. No. Yeah, it's here. So mini grep result is a string. Sorry, it returns us unit type and error. So yep, I guess we can probably ask this to return for us the what's it called, the config, right? Yeah. Yes, we can do this. Or do we need to specify lifetime even here? What is the easiest way I would do this? I mean, undeclared. Use of undeclared lifetime. Where do you declare this? Why not making it generic? No. Why not making it generic? You mean the config to be generic? But aren't we gonna? Okay, and then it can take. Oh wait. Oh, you mean why not making? Oh yeah, you mean the result to be generic, right? So it takes anything. Okay, actually, that's where we would specify. um, um, yeah, that's where we would actually specify our. That's what we would have specified the lifetime if we wanted to do that. Yeah. So, I think I'm missing. Um, I think I'm missing one of them, right? Is it okay now? Was it expecting? Result of this and this. What's the problem? Syntax error. Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, that's fine. We can read about it together. I think I started to. This was supposed to be very simple, but started to move things into um, like organizing them into libraries and the rest, and like slowly it starts to become a lot bigger. It's really just it's supposed to be, yeah, simple. I think I messed something up here. Result expected this, found that. What is this? Result. Wait, I'm just gonna write this again. I don't. I think I started to. Okay, so it needs to be a result of uh of yeah, type and mini grep result. I think is it grep error, right? I think it's errors mini grep error. Fail to resolve. I see I need extra. Yeah, exactly. But what is this one about? We're currently in grep. What did I even have before? Of use of unresolved module only grep. Mini grep error is in errors. Is it because of grep? Where am I actually? Yep. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So we have the mini grep result. Now we go. Yeah. So inside of new, uh, it needs to return now a mini grep result. Yeah. Mini grep result of uh create. I'm sorry, not create. Config. Yeah. Or actually, let me just say self. Right, I can do that from here. Come on. You can find mini grep in the scope. We just declared mini grep here. It's public. So what is your problem? Oh, okay. Yep. So now expected this. Yeah, it's not yet returning what. Yeah, exactly. It's not yet returning what we want to return. That's fine. So let's make it do that. So now we have we go through the argument uh, collection here. We try to get. We're doing this. Okay, or because like at this point is a result. That is a string. Yeah. So here we can actually first just return the. We need to wrap this in a. This needs to be mini grep, like, yeah. Say if this is oh, actually this just needs to be a result. So if we say okay of this, are we not fine? What is, yeah. So yeah, and then the other thing is the panic. Yeah, we don't want to panic because we already returning minigrep. So this needs to be a minigrep error. So we need to be able to go from, we have a result here. We need to go from the error to a minigrep error. That's what we need to be able to do. So can we do a, wait, can we do a map error? Yep, we can do a map error. Oh, come on. So I'm using a new keyboard and I haven't configured this pipe for it. A custom keyboard. I haven't configured this on the keyboard, but anyway. So wait, no. Yeah. So the error, which is a string, we need to go to a minigrep error, which we can say I think we wait, hold on. Let's go to minigrep error. What do we even have? Does this have to be public as well? I guess, right? Or not? It doesn't. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to have exactly. There's no need. It's on the entire enum, right? So I need insufficient argument. So I just need to do minigrep error. Why can't I say insufficient? What's the problem? Wow. What do I need to bring that errors? Any grep error? Oh yeah. So I need to go all the way. Okay, so insufficient arguments. Yeah, insufficient arguments. And yeah, this is a string, I believe, right? Yeah, so I should be able to do this. Yeah. So string and expected is string, found string slice. Well, I can do a, can I, well, how was that called again? How do you go to string slice? Is it to or as? Nope. Um, hmm. So I need to wait. Nope. Does that convert it? Nope. Uh, so well, I guess I can the trait display. I think it was display that I wanted to do, not debug actually, to be honest. And I don't think we can derive uh, display, or can we? I don't think display FMT display. Where are the derivable marked? Yeah, so yeah, you can't derive display user facing. Oh yeah, that's because now we want to. Okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and yeah, just format it and use write for it and be done. But it's complaining about this now because of what actually? Yeah, because informal strings may be able to use for pretty. Yeah, maybe we should even just use that one and not have to write that. Okay, let's do that for now until it's necessarily required. But this is the problem now actually. Can we do this? Nope. I really don't want to bring lifetime specifiers here, to be honest. Like, nope, no way. So what I just need is to go from uh by the way, why is that even all right. It's pretty easy. I should just make this a string, an actual string, and be done. Uh with to string, is that not? Yep. Oh, I can even do string that. Yeah. Um so yep. Okay. And that takes care of query. Insufficient argument. This is also insufficient argument. So we just do the same with okay error. We don't want to panic. Wait, why are we doing this again second time here? If we have a result of this and this, yeah, um, right. I think it's, oh yeah, because we should be able to do, oh, why can't we do a, this? Syntax error expected field number. Oh wait. What did I do there? Okay, or come on. Then okay, that's fine. And then this is no longer necessary. Redundant, yeah, we get there, but this one now will also be similar. Nope. Pipe actually. Like, yep. Like I said, I need to configure this keyboard. Okay. And again, it's like the error, and yeah, I think we said we're going to a same kind of error actually. Errors. Mini grep error. Same thing. And it's going to be the error, right? And it's going to be like so. And this can go. Okay. So now Clippy says this is redundant. What do you mean? Redundant closure. Which one? Is it the error? No, not can be the error. Which? Which is the redundant closure here? Oh wait, come on. I want to see what this. Oh come on, let me select this thing. I can't come and click it, so just let me do that like so. So yeah, that is much. So needlessly creating a closure adds code for no benefit. So instead of doing, so it basically already knows that it's that argument, so it should just take it. It's just like functional interfaces in Java. Okay, cool. It knows it's an error, automatically do that. Okay, that's fine. I get it, Clippy. Now what? What did I miss? Who's a plain function? Wait. Wait, what? How is this? So instead of passing x, you just call foo. Oh wait, so I don't need to pass the error basically. But hmm, but that's interesting actually. So you don't even, wow. So I just do this. Wait, no. You mean I do it like so? Interesting. Yeah, because the thing is like the closure unit itself. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Because like it knows that it's a map error already. It knows it takes one error and calls that directly. Okay. So this is much cleaner. Much um yeah. So we have these two, but we haven't solved the one of. I mean, well, let's run our program first and see that everything is okay. Do we have errors first of all? Okay, so missing generic type for, yeah. So what type should be returned from here? We know it's a, wait, what do we return actually from 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 hold on, let's go there and see. Run is going to read content. This is going to, wait, where is this even used actually? The new is called, yeah, okay. And then this is the public one that we then call finally with the file that we got. That's fine. But this is, the new is going to give us uh, config. It's going to give us config. Yep. So this should be a config. Oh no, this is even returning us unit type here. So I think this can return us unit type, right? Um, why not? Mismatched types, expected struct, mini grep. Wait, how do you mean? Oh, config, you mean? Okay, yeah, so config is result of that has config or minigrep error, yeah, from here. So content is we need to get the value from there to print out. Okay. Um this, oh no, some config actually. Dot okay. No, no, not okay actually. Um Maybe I should actually do that from here because if, yep, so we get the config here and we're fine. Instead of map error, you can actually do it all inside OK or error. Let's see. Okay. So, oh yeah, you mean we provide the error that should be there? Yeah, that's true. So, um, yeah. So we basically say insufficient argument, but I think I also wanted to – with insufficient argument. Uh, Yeah, it takes a string. Yeah, so we can do um errors, mini grep error, insufficient argument. Yep. And then we don't need this anymore. And on this, what did I miss now? Do I have enough? Probably missing, wait, let's see. Nope. So, am I missing? One, two. Nope. Oh, come on. What's the problem? Yeah, this is for this one. So there's one more that's needed from there. So why is it? Uh, I missing semicolon at the end. Ah, right. Okay, correct. Thanks. All right, so yeah, so it's much simpler like this. Um, yeah, we do the same thing here. And okay. Oh, I do need to do that extra ampersand on the args. Is it necessary? Where do you on the args? You mean here? Okay. No, I think I don't think it's necessary. Let's see. Yeah, I think that was from the original um original implementation we had. Yeah, so we've come from like way yeah, way far. Same thing here as well. Yeah, we were hitting this roadblock. Then it was talking about um that it was already moved initially. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think this is much better. Yep. Let's see now here. Oh, yeah, this is also good. So if we run this program, it runs fine. If we remove one of the arguments, yeah, we get the error, insufficient arguments. Please provide a file path. Yep, nice. Yeah, this is cool. There is one more thing to do, which is I think it's, yep, where we're trying to read the contents of the file. We're still expecting, because if we try to provide a file that doesn't exist, for example, yeah, now it's gonna panic. Yeah, so this is what we need to take care of. This is the last thing to take care of. The such file or directory. So here, read to string is it gives us a result. So we can actually take care of that. It's IO result. Yeah. So which we should go from the let's see, IO result type. What does it? I think it's IO results. I need to remember. Yeah, the alias is yeah, error. So it's a result and IO error. So we need to be able to go from IO error to our mini grep error. Yeah. So you mentioned, and that in the argue is also unnecessary. This one here. Okay, maybe we can do args.get directly. Yeah, that was because of the previous implementation as well. We were we had to go differently previously, so this definitely will work. Yeah, same thing here. Yep. So when we want to read the file, yeah, so this is gonna give us a string, but we know that, like, for example, if we go, yeah, this is where we're, so we want to go from, this is going to have to give us back a mini grep result. So basically, run should not just be a string, it should be a mini grep result. So that's what we need to do to change. Wait, I think it's gonna come from grep, right? Yep. Mini grep result, and the type is going to be a string. Yeah. So now when we try to read this file, so this is wait, hold on. Oh yeah, this is coming from our yeah, our library. Yep. So actually this is where it should, yeah, this should return us the mini grep result. Yeah. Yeah, and it should be string. So we don't expect any more. But again, let's do a let content be this. Yeah. So it's a result of string or error, and we need to go from. Yep. So we can do this. Yeah. However, we don't know how to go um, from a mini grep error. Sorry, from an IO error to a mini grep error. So we need to teach the. Yep. This uh, should return an OK of content, right? Fail to resolve. What are you saying? We are already in. Where are we actually? Yeah, we're in grep. What do you mean? What do you need? Oh yeah, mini grep result. You don't need grep anymore. Yeah, could not convert that exactly. So we need to teach the error type how to go there, and to do that, we go to errors. We need to implement the from trait, right? So we need to implement from. We need to be able to go from error. That's an IO error actually. So basically, I should say, wait, how is that even called? It's like std IO error. Okay, sorry. IO from IO error for mini grep error. Okay. We need to do an implement from for mini grep error, and yeah. So when it's an IO error, then we know it's going to be a problem reading file. Yeah. Oh, I had a glitch in my car. So we know it's going to be a problem reading file, and yeah. So it's a mini grep error, and that would be self the problem reading file. You can say it like that, and it's a string, yeah. Value how do we get the error again? I mean, I just need the error string, not kind. I need to check that actually. Error. How do I get the I just need the. I mean, this kind. No. Raw OS error. No. I'm sure that's what I'm supposed to be doing actually. It's a string. Okay. I mean, that's because we just want string. Okay. Oh, come on, keyboard. Yep. Okay, so with this, we should be able to. Yeah, it should know how to do that. And here also, yeah, this should give us mini grep error. Should be a, yeah, this itself is giving us a, wait, hold on, what's going on here? Okay, wait, yep, exactly. This is what it should be. And yeah, and she give us an okay of content. Yep. And now we should, what else? What again? This gives us a string. What do you mean? Wait. What's the problem? std results. Result. Oh, so result of string. Mini grep error doesn't implement display. That's your problem. Nope. Shouldn't that take care of it? Yeah, it does. So we do the debug. Okay. So we go again and print one more time. Yep. So we use the wrong one. Yep. Problem reading file, no such file or directory. That's cool. And if we use the correct thing, yay, it works. Okay, now it prints with the new line characters. Okay, so I mean, it was a cool session. I think I enjoyed it. I did because like we didn't start this thing wanting to. Oh yeah, minigrep run uses question mark operator to wrap it again. Minigrep run this. So minigrep run is supposed to return us a minigrep result. And read content. Okay, I see what you mean. Returns a minigrep result. So basically, you mean we should just do this? That's what you mean, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Exactly. Uh, yeah, this uh, run is just a public function, which basically mirrors the what we have the other way. Yeah. So I was saying that this was fun for me because like we didn't plan to do all of this. It was just like where is it even? I think it's like here, right? Yeah. So we're just following this stuff and trying to even be stay ahead of the book. So we, excuse me, so we do that, do what we have to do, and then see how they implement it, and then like moving things into modules and all the rest. Like even adding the arrows one, I liked this one a lot. So it was cool. Yeah, and I think that brings us to the end of the session today. So Uchukar, it was nice of you to have joined the session this evening. Yeah, I'm also gonna give you a follow now. Um, yeah, I don't know if I pronounced the name right. Hopefully, Uchukar. Yeah. Okay, and that's okay. Oh, thanks for the follow as well. I also just followed you. Do you also do you do you stream Rust like or like you use Rust actively? Because I see that you also yeah you do use Rust. Obviously, I can I can see that. But I'm sure we can yeah chat sometime. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed now. I think we continue tomorrow. Friday usually I have like a longer streams on Friday evenings. Ah, yeah, going back to Rust. Ah, nice, cool, cool. Yeah. So I'm also I'm using Rust, but recently I was doing some AI stuff, and no, I'm getting bored. So I had to also so I have like two tracks. One where I use AI to like tell it what it should do for me, and the other one where I build the same thing but by hand. You know, so so it's a little bit of fun. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then thanks. Have a good evening or morning. I'm not sure. Yeah. And then see you. All right. Bye.